This call is now being recorded.
Yes, you can send your USN for attendance in the chat box. Then we will start the lecture. Yes, the screen is visible to you.
No, ma'am.
I think the screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, any doubts regarding previous class? Have you understood the interior of the earth, internal structure of the earth?
Yes, ma'am.
It is divided into how many layers?
Ma'am, 3 layers.
3. Topmost is the crust, then mantle and the core. Okay, I hope you all have gone through the video. So it was quite
Yes,
bigger
ma'am.
video. Next time onwards, I'll share smaller videos. Okay. So today we'll start with the minerals. Okay. The introduction part is over. Now we'll start with the minerals. So you might have seen different types of minerals, like you might have seen diamonds. Okay. Then you might have seen quartz. Okay. Have you seen the pebbles which are lying on the river side or beach side? Okay, all these are considered as minerals. Okay, so some minerals are very precious, like diamond, gold, silver. All these are minerals which are precious one. Okay, and some are used in day to day's life, like we need minerals in each and every manufacturing. We need minerals, right? For making your microchips processor, or in construction activities you take. Everywhere we are dependent on these naturally occurring minerals. So I'll just show you the world of minerals first. Okay, so you can see here on the screen the minerals. They occur in very beautiful shape, size, color. Can you able to see? Right, this is looks like a gold, but it is not a gold. Okay, the middle image, right? So here this mineral is called as the pyrite mineral, which is a iron ore. Okay, then these are beautiful minerals which are found crystalline. Okay, in variety of colors like yellow, green, blue, right? So they are so beautifully formed, and they all are naturally occurring. That is very important. They are not prepared artificially. Okay, while forming only they get that shape. Okay, so minerals, they are observed in the form of flowers also, right? You can see, like, you are as if you are seeing the real flowers, is it? So they are very beautifully formed minerals are existing in the nature, right? This is like a rose, right? Roses, but it is not roses. It looks like roses, but it is a mineral. Okay, so beautifully formed. So again, few examples. Okay, this is first one is gold. Okay, then these are different minerals which occur. So they occur, they are huge also, and they are small also. Like here you can see almost they are 6 to 7 feet tall minerals are formed. You can see, you can compare with the height. Okay, so like this, there are over 5,000 minerals are known in the world. Okay, more than 5,000 minerals we know today. And out of that, hardly 25 to 50 minerals we are going to study, which are essential for us, which we come across when we deal with the civil engineering. That is mainly because of the uh, these minerals they present in the rocks, and the rocks which we use for construction activities. So before starting rocks, we must know what are these minerals. So we are studying minerals first. Okay, so beautifully arranged minerals you can see here, right? All are naturally formed with beautiful colors, right? And shape, size. So these are some gem varieties. When you polish them, okay, they shine like a diamond. Okay, then here you can have a look. There is a video, I'll play it. Okay, just go through that video, so you will get an idea how these minerals will form inside the earth. So there is a huge crystal cave, okay, wherein each crystal is weighing 40 to 50 tons, one crystal, okay, and they are 3 stories building size, okay. The size of the crystal is 3-story building, okay. So they are huge. This is a cave which is in Mexico, okay, wherein you can see people are going inside, and there are huge crystals inside the cave which are formed. The mineral is selenite, okay. It is a variety of gypsum, okay. So this is one example. There are different ways of forming minerals, okay, but this is all naturally occurring. You can see the huge crystals formed inside the cave, right? People are going inside and they are studying it, okay. So that is a huge cave which is found in Mexico, okay. Yes. Then next I would like to share one video again regarding diamonds, because diamond is also one of the fascinating mineral. I hope everyone likes diamonds, right? But it is very costly. Yes, so diamonds, they shine they have a very brilliant luster, right? And in India, where do we get diamonds? There is a place called Kimberlite. So Kimberlite diamonds are very famous. Okay. So here, how these diamonds are formed. One more video you can see at the corner here. Yes, so this is the internal structure of the earth, and these diamonds are formed deep inside the earth, okay. And when this magma, it is coming out on the surface, when it comes in contact with such deposits, it will bring that to the surface. So we can able to extract the diamonds from that whenever it comes on the surface, okay, through the volcanic activities. They come near to the surface, and from there we get, because going very deep is not possible, right? At least from mining point of view, okay, we cannot go deeper, because as you go deeper and deeper, there will be a scarcity of oxygen. You cannot travel more distance deep inside the earth, right? Because the temperature and pressure also goes on increasing, right? So this is how the diamonds are formed. Then next, again, few more examples of beautiful crystals, minerals, okay. So I hope you all have got a brief idea what is a mineral, okay. So the branch which studies this minerals is called as mineralogy. So what is a mineralogy? It is the study of chemistry, the atomic structure, the physical properties, and the genesis of minerals. That is the origin. Genesis means origin of the minerals. So mineralogy is a branch, okay, branch of geology which deals with study of all these minerals, their chemistry, their atomic structure, their physical properties, and how they are formed. So all these studied under a branch called mineralogy. Now let us concentrate on the definition of mineral. So what is a mineral? So mineral is an inorganic substance. It is an inorganic substance. Just understand what is the meaning of inorganic first. Inorganic means they are made up of they have a elemental composition, like you have studied periodic table wherein different elements are present. Okay, so these minerals are naturally made of any of these elements. Okay, so they are not organic. Organic means they are not made up of any organisms. There are few exceptions for this definition that I'll discuss at the end. First, let me complete what is the definition of mineral. Okay, they all are inorganic in nature. Okay, inorganic means they are made up of inorganic material. Okay, they are not made up of any organisms. Okay, so it is called as inorganic. Then they are all naturally occurring. The second point is what? They are all naturally occurring. They are not prepared artificially. Okay, and uh, they all have a definite atomic structure and a definite chemical composition. So that is called as a mineral. So all minerals, they are inorganic in nature, they are naturally formed, and they all have the definite atomic structure and definite chemical composition. So I hope you all have understood the definition of a mineral. Is it clear? What is a mineral? This definition is very, very important for exam. Okay, so mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic substance with definite atomic structure and definite chemical composition. So all these minerals what I have shown you till now, they all have their own atomic structure and chemical composition. Like for example, to compare, we all human beings are different from each other, right? Because we all have our own skeletal, that is internal atomic structure, right? And each one's body composition is different. Same way it is with the minerals also. They all have the definite atomic structure, that is internal arrangement of the grains. Okay, so that is different, and each mineral have its own chemical composition. So that is called as the mineral. Okay, understood? Any difficulty till now? Pragati Gowda,
Yes, ma'am.
is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood? Are you
Yes,
enjoying
ma'am.
the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic substance with definite atomic structure and chemical composition. That is called as a mineral. Next, we'll move on to the elemental abundance in the crust. Okay, how these minerals are abundant in nature, we'll see. So the most abundant element in the earth's crust is oxygen. That you can see 46.6% of oxygen is available in the crust. Then next abundant mineral is silicon, that is Si. Okay, that is 27.7%. And then it goes on decreasing, like next is aluminium, iron, calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Then these are the major abundant minerals. Then rest all, we did not find gold, mercury, then copper here, because they are very rare in occurrence. Okay, so their cost is also high. Okay, so these are this is the elemental abundance in the crust. Next, we'll see there are different mineral groups which we classify the minerals into different mineral groups. Like we have the most abundant is feldspar group, that is 39%. You can see here. Then next comes there are two types of feldspar. one is plagioclase feldspar and potassium feldspar. So these are abundant in nature. Then next is your quartz. Quartz is again a mineral, okay, whose availability is 12%. Okay. Then comes the pyroxene, amphiboles, mica, clay. Then we have other silicate minerals. They are 3%. In that you can include native elements. We'll see what is native elements. Then we have non-silicate minerals. They are 8%. Okay. They are oxides, carbonates, sulfides, and native elements. So all these are how the mineral groups are distributed. Next, we'll see what is a native mineral. Okay, native mineral means what? They occur in their pure state, pure form. There is no impurity along with it. It is purely gold, purely silver, purely copper. So such minerals are called as native minerals. So what are native minerals? The minerals which are found in their pure state in nature, that is called as a native mineral. So in the image I have shown you gold. Okay, the first two photos are of gold. Then we have silver, native silver, and the last image is showing the native copper. So these are the examples of native minerals which occur in the pure form. They don't come with any impurities along with it. Okay. So the gold, silver, copper, platinum, diamond, and sulfur, they occur in their pure form. So we call them as native minerals. Okay. Then there are compound minerals also. So compound minerals are those which are made from combining more than one element. Okay. So here in all these, we found that only one element is present, that is gold, or a silver, or a copper. But some minerals, they occur in combination with other, like we have silicates, oxides, sulfides, and carbonates. They are the few examples of compound minerals. Okay, compound minerals means they don't occur in their pure form, they occur in combination with more than one element. That is called as the compound minerals. Then we'll next move on to the physical properties of minerals. So this is very important. So in exam also they may ask you any of the physical properties with examples. Okay, so you must understand all these physical properties in a proper way. Then only you can understand the minerals. So the chief or major physical properties are many. The first four properties, that is color, streak, luster, and diaphanity. These four are light dependent properties. I'll tell you why they are called as light dependent. Okay, so these are called as light dependent properties because these property depend on light. Okay. Then we have hardness, that is how hard is the mineral, it tells you. Then we can determine the specific gravity of any mineral. Okay. Then we have the properties called cleavage and fracture. They are related to breaking of the mineral. Okay. Then we have tenacity, which tells you how is the behavior of mineral under pressure. Okay. Then these minerals, they have or they form in a particular habit, or they form or a structure, they show a structure. So what are those structures called as? Like you have seen, like flower like, plate like. Okay, all these are the different forms of the minerals. They are called as crystal form. Then we have other important properties, like some minerals, they show a particular odor, or some minerals, they show a particular feel. Okay, when you touch the mineral, some minerals, they feel soapy, some minerals are very cold. Like that, there are different properties of minerals. So the important properties we are going to discuss in the upcoming class. So we'll start with the first property, the physical property of the mineral. That is, the first property is color. So I had shown you so many photos of minerals. In that you have seen varieties of colors, right? So all these minerals, they occur in variety of colors, okay, and they all are naturally formed, right? So the color of any object is a light dependent property. It depends on the light which is falling on the mineral. So it is the appearance of a particular object in the light. So how a particular mineral looks in the light, okay, that is called as the color of that particular mineral. So color, you cannot directly judge a name of the mineral by seeing only the color, okay, because it may show variety of color. Though the mineral may be same, that same mineral occurs in variety of color. So color is not a distinctive property of a mineral. So color will only be definite property in few minerals. Like here I have given you example of a malachite. Malachite, you might have heard, it is a ore of copper. Ore means you, from which you can extract the metal, okay. So from malachite you can extract the copper, okay. So this malachite always occurs in green color, okay. And there is one more mineral called azurite, which is also a copper ore, which shows a particular azurine blue color. So these minerals are, they tell you the exact color, okay. But maximum times the color is not a distinctive property of the mineral. So the most of the mineral, they have a variety of colors, okay. Some are allochromatic, idiochromatic, some are called as pseudochromatic, that means false color. Chrome stands for color, okay. Then some minerals are fluorescence, some are iridescence, okay. So I'll tell you what all these terms, okay. So first one, I gave example of malachite and azurite. What they show, they occur, you go anywhere in the world, okay, wherever there are deposits of malachite or azurite, okay, they occur in their respective color. They don't change their color, okay. So malachite, if it is there, it always occurs in green color. If it is a azurite, it always occurs in blue color. If it is a sulfur, it again occurs in always yellow color. So like that, there are few minerals which always occur in their same color. So such minerals are called as idiochromatic minerals. Then there are few minerals which are allochromatic, okay. Allochromatic means though the properties are same, okay, but they show variation in the color. For example, I'll show you here. You can see a variety of quartz, okay, some colors of quartz, okay. All these whatever pictures I have shown, all these are different varieties of quartz, a mineral quartz called as quartz, okay. So this you can see, it is purple in color, then this is white in color, then this is smoky brown or black in color. Then in the second photograph you can see here, it is rose pink in color, right? Whereas these are transparent varieties, okay, this is transparent. Then this is white rock crystal, okay, this is again purple in color, this is black in color, this is smoky in color. So all these are varieties of quartz, but they occur in different colors. So such minerals are called as allochromatic minerals. Allo means different colors. Idiochromatic means same color, okay. So then these are again few varieties of beryl. Beryl is again a mineral, it occurs in so many colors. Okay, it occurs in again varieties of color, like you can see pink, yellow, green, dark green. Okay, then light blue, transparent. Okay, all these are the varieties of the same mineral, that is beryl. So such minerals are called as allochromatic minerals. Then there are few minerals which show a particular property called luminescence. Luminescence means what? Some minerals, they start glowing. Okay, they glow when they are placed under UV light, that is ultraviolet light. In the image you can see here, the mineral is kept in front of the ultraviolet radiation. Okay, so when you keep it in front of the ultraviolet radiation, okay, it starts glowing. Okay, so this occurs because they absorb the volatile light and they emit the visible light. So this phenomena is called as fluorescence. This phenomena is called as fluorescence. So there is a mineral called fluorite. Okay, so that is that shows this particular property called fluorescence. Okay, it starts glowing when it is exposed to ultraviolet light. Then some, they emit the light. Okay, when the light source is removed, even though you remove the source of light, that is UV light, still the minerals start glowing. That is called as phosphorescent property or phosphorescent mineral. So here one point you have to understand regarding the color is, whenever the light falls on any particular mineral, what happens to that light? Okay, like here in the previous you can see, yes, here we'll see what is happening with the light when it is falling on the particular mineral. So when light falls on the mineral, what happens? Some amount of light is absorbed and some amount of light is reflected. Okay, so whatever light is getting reflected, that we see as a color. So here the mineral is looking purple. Purple means what is happening here? It is emitting the purple radiations. Okay, suppose if a mineral is red in color, then it shows or it emits the red color radiations. Okay, and suppose if a mineral is dark, then what happens? There is no reflection. All the seven colors which are there in the light, they get absorbed. Then there is no reflection. In such cases, the minerals become dark, that is black. Okay, and some minerals, they emit the light, all the radiations or all the colors are transmitted when the light falls, then the mineral looks white. Okay, I hope the transparency of the mineral or absorbance of the mineral, it is clear. Okay, so why the minerals show different colors is, one reason is it depends upon light. Okay, and one is when they form. Okay, how these minerals are formed? During the cooling and consolidation of the magma. You might have studied in previous class, right? What is magma? Magma is the molten rock material which is present deep inside the earth. So what happens when this magma starts cooling? Okay, at different temperature and different pressure, different minerals, they start forming. Okay, at different pressure, different temperature, different minerals, they get formed. Okay, and some impurities gets added into it while forming, that again imparts color to the mineral. So this is how the minerals show a variety of colors. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the terms. Okay. So this is regarding the first property, first physical property of the mineral, that is color. Okay. Then we'll move on to the next property, that is streak. Okay. So what is streak? Here in the image, first you observe. Okay. There is one plate. Okay. The white color porcelain plate, that we call it as a streak plate. So it is just a porcelain plate. Okay. It is unglazed, unpolished porcelain plate which is used for testing the streak of the mineral. So what is streak? Suppose I have taken this mineral. Okay. You can see the color is black, but I want to check what is the streak of that minerals. So what is that I'll do? I'll take this mineral and I'll rub it on the streak plate. Like how we write on the board using chalk, right? So whatever color chalk I have taken, that it will show the color of that powder, okay, on the board. Same way here also, streak is what? The color of the mineral powder. The color of the mineral powder is called as the streak. So streak is closely related to color, but it is a different property, because here what we are observing, not the body color of the mineral, we are observing the color of the powder of that particular mineral. So color of the body color and the powder color may not be same always. It shows a different color. Okay. So it may be different than the color of the streak. Okay. So it is very important to check the streak of the mineral. You might have observed, okay, whenever you go to a goldsmith, okay, they rub the gold on one particular plate like this. You might have observed. Okay. So why they do the testing is, here is the example. So here this mineral pyrite, it looks like a gold. Okay, that I have shown you in the previous image also. Pyrite, which looks like gold, but it is not a gold. It is a ore of iron. Okay. So what happens when you rub the gold on this streak plate? You will not find any color on the streak plate. But if you rub this, this is also called as fool's gold, because it fools you. So it is called as fool's gold. Okay, that is because it looks like a gold. When you rub this pyrite mineral on the streak plate, what happens? You can see a black color powder on the streak plate. Okay. So this is why the streak is an important property. Okay. So streak, how we find out the streak is by rubbing the mineral on the streak plate. Whatever powder we are getting, color of that powder is called as the streak. So this is a distinctive property for most of the minerals, and it is used to identify the mineral. Okay. So this is the second property of the mineral called streak. So there are few examples I have shown here. Like first one is hematite mineral. Okay, like in the previous image you can see, this is black in color, the hematite. This is only the hematite. Okay, but the streak, if you observe the color of the mineral powder on the streak plate, what it is showing? It is showing a particular red color, that is called as cherry red streak. Okay, so that is a hematite mineral whose color is black, but the streak is red, or you can say it is a cherry red streak. Okay, then one more mineral called magnetite, whose color is also black and the streak is also black. Then we have one more mineral called chromite, whose color is black, but the streak is brown. Streak is what? The color of the mineral powder on rubbing, whatever you are getting on the streak plate, the color of that powder is called as the streak. Sulfur, it is yellow in color and the streak is light yellow in color. Then pyrite, which looks like gold, that is brass yellow, okay, but the streak is black in color. Then kyanite is a blue color mineral, but it shows the white streak, okay. Then we have limonite, which occurs in both brown and yellow color, and the streak is also same. So these are the few examples of streak. So I hope you have understood these two properties, that is color and streak of the mineral. Any difficulty? So we'll stop the class here. Two properties are enough for today. Okay. Remaining properties we'll discuss in the next class. Any doubts, student?